All right, everybody, get seated. Good evening and welcome to our 30th annual Jewish Family Service of Los Angeles Gala in person. It's unbelievable. We're actually in person again. If you don't know me, my name is Randy Magnan, and I am the chair of the JFS LA Board of Directors. And after 3 years of pandemic and 2 virtual galas, albeit wonderful virtual galas, it's so nice to be back in person. And it means so much to all of us that you are all here. Thank you. Tonight we are honoring 2 incredible people who have made powerful impacts on our organization and the people we serve. We will be presenting the Anita and Stanley Hirsch Award to Sarah Cannon. Sarah's commitment, Sarah, please, applause. Sarah's commitment to making our world a better place led her to JFS LA, where her time as a donor and a volunteer continues to touch so many lives. So thank you, Sarah. And we will be presenting the Susie Foraderi Award, Spirit of Humanity Award, to Nina Tassler. Yeah. Nina is my predecessor as board chair, and it's some really, really big shoes to fill, I have to tell you. Her leadership and compassion have touched every aspect of our great agency, making it stronger for the thousands upon thousands of people who rely on us. I cannot think of 2 more deserving honorees. You both embody the values that drive our work. I'd like to take a moment to recognize the people here today who make this incredible work possible. So if you're a member of our board of directors, a JFS LA board member, can you please stand and be recognized? All of our board members, please. Thank you. If you are a JFS LA volunteer, can you please stand and be recognized? Woo. Thank you. And our staff, if you are a JFS LA staff member, can you please stand and be recognized? I know there are board members and staff members and volunteers not with us tonight, and I want you all that are here tonight and those that aren't to know that what you are doing for the people of Los Angeles is a true mitzvah. It matters. I'd also like to take a moment to remember the 3 JFS LA board members we lost this year. Judy Igzanovich, Debbie Barrick, and Arnold Salzman, all of blessed memory, were each incomparable forces in our lives and the life of this organization. Judy, Debbie, and Arnold were loved and admired far and wide, and they will be missed dearly. And I'm sure they are here in spirit with us tonight. So many of our neighbors are facing transitions and challenges in their lives, and far too many of them are doing so on their own without any support. From hunger to domestic violence to aging to mental health and so much more, we at JFS LA are problem solvers, partners who respond to this wide array of challenges with essential services that change lives. You are donors, you are volunteers, you are staff. Each of you plays a role in building the community you want to see. Together, we are helping people pursue safer, healthier, and more connected lives, and we are building a stronger and more caring LA. The vital services we provide to the people of this city are staggering, and who better to tell you about them than the staff themselves? Let's watch.
Since 1854, Jewish Family Service LA has provided the people of Los Angeles with vital services that keep our city happy, healthy, and strong. With services available in person and online, we're reaching more people than ever, wherever they are.
No matter how you connect with us, our dedicated family of staff and volunteers is ready to help.
So come on into Jewish Family Service LA and learn what we're all about. Our SOBA Community Food and Resource Program pantries are open to everyone in Los Angeles who could use a helping hand.
With just one trip to a SOVA food pantry or pop-up, visitors can receive a 5-day supply of groceries, meet with a social worker, access referrals to multiple resources, and receive assistance signing up for benefits such as CalFresh and Medi-Cal.
Here at the Hirsch Family Kosher Kitchen, we are busy preparing healthy and delicious meals for thousands of people in Los Angeles.
And our home delivery service brings a friendly face and homemade meals from the Hirsch Family Kosher Kitchen directly to homebound seniors and people living with disabilities.
The Hirsch Family Kosher Kitchen also provides hot meals at our neighborhood dining centers. Seniors can chat with friends, neighbors, and connect with the services our centers provide.
Our transportation service helps seniors and people with disabilities to get to our centers, as well as to get to important appointments, grocery stores, pharmacies, and much more. Watch a step.
Visitors to our senior and multi-purpose centers will find a wide variety of health and wellness activities, educational programs, care management, mental health, and social services.
Our centers also serve as a caring community of supportive services and social interaction for survivors of the Holocaust and their families.
JFS Hope's domestic violence services also include 2 counseling centers for the survivors and their children. Our compassionate staff provide the highest level of trauma-informed care.
We have 2 24-hour emergency crisis lines and operate 2 emergency shelters and 1 transitional shelter, where families can find a safe place to heal and plan for the future.
JFS Care caretakers like me are here to provide professional, quality, compassionate, in-home care for aging loved ones, helping them to remain safe and comfortable at home.
We offer mental health services for adults of all ages, including counseling, homeless prevention programming, and special services for the Jewish community.
New Parents Connect offers pregnancy and postpartum support groups to help parents overcome feelings of isolation, depression, and anxiety. We have groups for new moms, new dads, and anyone facing new parenthood.
Raising Baby is a free online home visitation program that provides expectant and new parents with customized support from a parent coach and an early childhood clinician.
We offer social connection, fun activities, and skill building for adults with special needs while providing education and support for their families.
Name something specific that you turn over.
A new leaf.
A new leaf, yes.
Oh, I like that.
Very good.
We all face challenges and transitions in our lives, and when we do, we must be able to count on the strength of community for support.
Each year, our compassionate staff and volunteers improve the quality of life for tens of thousands of people, regardless of age, religion, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or gender identity.
Everyone deserves to live a healthy and satisfying life on their own terms. If you need support or have support to give, connect with Jewish Family Service LA today.
Please welcome Josh Passman and Tammy Staff.
Hello, everyone. I'm Josh Passman.
And I'm Tammy Staff.
Tammy and I are so excited to be here tonight. It means so much to us and everyone at Jewish Family Service Los Angeles that you all came out to celebrate our 30th annual gala.
We have some very important and very quick thank yous. But before we do that, there's a very special person we want to recognize. It's hard for all of us to accept this, but at the end of June, our beloved executive president, Susie Forderry, will be retiring. If you don't know Susie, you might recognize her name from the Susie Forderry Spirit of Humanity Award that we will be presenting tonight. Susie has been at Jewish Family Service LA for 37 years. She started as a social worker and now oversees all of resource development, communications, and volunteering. But most importantly, Susie is the embodiment of our great organization. She is its heart and soul. She is not only brilliant and accomplished, but she is kind and compassionate. Her staff and those of us on the board consider her not just a friend, but family. It's impossible to imagine JFSLA without Susie, but something tells me we'll still be seeing plenty of her. Susie, in your time at JFSLA, you have been our rock. Everyone who encounters you instantly loves you. And for those of us who are lucky enough to know you well, our lives have been forever changed. On behalf of the board, staff, volunteers, and clients at JFSLA, we wish you all the best in your retirement. Susie, I know you don't like this, but will you please stand so we can all show you how much we love and appreciate you? Woo!
We love you, Susie. We want to give a very special thank you to all our major sponsors tonight who can be seen on the screens around the room and listed in your programs. Thank you. And a thank you to everyone who contributed to our tribute journal, which will be playing on the screens around the room throughout the dinner. Thank you. Thank you to all the elected officials who have supported JFS tonight and throughout the year. We appreciate your partnership today and every day.
A special thank you to our friends from the Jewish Federation of Greater Los Angeles, specifically the chair of the board, Orna Wolins, General Campaign Chair, Lynn Biter, President and CEO, Rabbi Noah Farkas, Chief Development Officer, Andrew Kushner, and Chief Program Officer, Becky Sobelman-Stern, and Senior Vice President of Caring for Jews in Need, Marissa Kaplan.
A special thank you to 4 foundations whose contributions have made profound contributions to our work. The Jewish Community Foundation, thank you Rabbi Aaron Lerner and Naomi Strongen. The Glazer Foundation, thank you John Fischel. The Tikkun Olam Foundation, thank you Mindy and Jean Stein. The Smith Foundation, thank you Eric Smith and Robin Kramer.
And thank you to Jordan Passman and Score a Score for providing the beautiful music that you will hear in tonight's videos.
Again, thank you all for joining us tonight, and please enjoy yourselves and be inspired.
To lead us in the motzi, please welcome Sarah Cannon's daughters, Laura and Audrey Cannon, and Nina Tassler's daughter and son, Alice and Matt Levine, and her daughter-in-law, Kina Batty.
We're good.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jennifer Hirsch.
Good evening. I'm Jennifer Hirsch, and I'm happy to be here to present the Anita and Stanley Hirsch Award to Sarah Cannon. Tonight, as we celebrate the 30th annual JFS LA Gala, I'm reminded that this award was born from my parents' belief in the tenet of tzedakah, good deeds in action. They believe deeply in Jewish Family Service LA's mission and its ability to affect change in so many lives. That no one should be overlooked or forgotten. That we should support and celebrate the resilience of the human spirit. My mother and father would be pleased to see this award go to Sarah. Sarah is someone who has put her values into action and leads with her heart. Sarah is all about helping others, and she's committed herself fully to living that value. Beginning as a donor with passion for helping people experiencing hunger who come to JFS SOVA, Sarah became invested in the greater work of JFS LA, especially in her volunteer work for JFS Hope's domestic violence services. If you haven't met Sarah, I hope you get to tonight. Sarah exudes kindness, warmth, and compassion. I can imagine how comfortable and safe victims of domestic violence would feel when Sarah answered the phones at our 24-hour crisis line or offered them help when they sought restraining orders in court. She's a gem, to say the least, and we are so lucky to have her. So without further ado, it's my honor to introduce a woman who's truly inspirational. The recipient of this year's Anita and Stanley Hirsch Award, Sarah Cannon.
I'm Sarah Cannon, and I'm the really happy recipient of the Anita and Stanley Hirsch Award.
Sarah is a kind, sensitive, and empathetic woman.
Creative, humble, smart, and moved by her heart.
She's just a full of joy person, always wanting to help and to be involved.
What pulls at her heartstrings is when she knows she can truly make a difference.
All qualities that are the perfect fit for Jewish Family Service.
I like to think of myself as fully engaged in the world. I'm not a religious person, but I'm really immersed in my culture and the concepts and tenets of being Jewish. My practice has really been in Tikkun Olam. It's saying that we should do things to make the world a better place. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, and my parents brought me out here to Los Angeles when I was 2. My parents had almost nothing when we were growing up. We were very working class people. As little as we had, my parents made a great big deal of it. And my happiest memories were all the fuss that we made over the Jewish holidays. This wall makes me extremely happy just looking at it. This is me and my mother.
My mom showed you still give and you still care.
You know, it's that old-fashioned Jewish neighborhood that not everyone is Jewish, but you all help out. You all, if someone is sick, you bring them food. And it's just part of, to me and Sarah, I guess, the Jewish nature.
One of the most special pictures I have is that of my sister and me, my sister Joby.
Sarah just loves it. I mean, it's a part of her inner nature to give.
I remember that Jewish Family Services was available to help families in need and in trouble. And I was very young, and I know that we went there for a certain amount of time. My parents took advantage of it, and I'm very happy they did. I think you need a certain amount of awareness to get help.
She is just such an empathetic and kind and generous person.
She loves being with people, making them feel comfortable in whatever situation they find themselves in.
When I got married and became comfortable in life, it was just a natural thing to see people who didn't have what I had, to give them help.
They made sure that we weren't, I don't know if spoiled is the right word, but that we're really conscious of other people.
I feel that everybody has an obligation to do something for somebody else.
My career is as a Jewish educator, and I would definitely say, you know, her love of education was there, but also her love of Judaism had a really big influence on my life.
Being a parent has given me the experience of having my heart walk around in other people's bodies. You know, I love my kids. I mean, love my kids, but the grandchildren, I don't know, somehow kind of like the cherries on top of a beautiful cake. And so there they are, my big gallery of my grandchildren and children and my parents and Bob and just everything on earth to make me feel fulfilled and happy.
I first met Sarah on a tour that I set up for Sarah and Robert.
And she said, you've been donors for a very long time, and we want you to actually see what you're donating to.
And I remember like yesterday, as Sarah got into the front seat of my car and we started schmoozing, and there was such a incredible presence about her.
Jewish Family Service really pulled at my heart and my soul, and I knew that I had to work for it as well as donate to it.
So after the tour, Sarah came to me and said, Carol, my heart really is speaking towards the domestic violence program, and this is where I really see myself volunteering.
Sarah worked on our 24-hour crisis hotline, answering calls.
When I was answering phones from people who were in need, I felt that I could be my most human and talk to them, find out what the problem was, and figure out how I could direct them for help.
She was the perfect volunteer and so ready to assist the staff as well as clients.
I did that for several years, and then I went to work in the Van Nuys Courthouse.
We placed volunteers there that would support anybody that would need a restraining order.
So these people come, immense courage, come to this restraining order clinic to do something legal to help themselves out of this horrible situation. And I was there to say, JFS-LA is here for you. And this is all the services we can offer you and your children.
Her warmth and her sincerity, you know, it's almost like when you're in her presence, she's just gonna hug you with her warmth, you know, and that's how she responded when she was in the restraining order clinic.
This is like one of the depths of human experience. And if I could do anything about it, I wanted to. I was looking at a newspaper and it had a little article about volunteering in Los Angeles, and there was the Skirball Museum. I trained for about 10 months in their collection, in what it meant to the greater community, and it was eye-opening.
I think I met Sarah about 40 years ago. Sarah was a docent at the museum and I was a newly hired curator. She just had such a thirst for knowledge and wanted to learn and become a professional. So she decided to go back to school and she got a master's from USC.
The field of art education is incredibly enriching, but once you learn about the vocabulary of art and architecture, you could take that with you for life.
She was responsible for many fabulous exhibits, experimental, sometimes risk-taking.
Visual art is putting together feelings and ideas that people can see. And if you look around my home, there's lots of chairs, and for some reason, blue resonates with me.
She had a very active profession, but she was looking forward to retirement. I said, well, Sarah, how are you going to fill your time? She said, I will have no problem at all. I just have so much energy and time, and I just want to give back to the community.
One of the benefits of having art in a community building like this is that people come in for lots of services, and the way they perceive the areas that they're in make a difference. Large-scale work of art, it's about 10 feet by 11 feet, and it's exuberant. Could almost fit yourself into it. So big, it's a big experience.
Sarah is funny and friendly and very honest about her opinions, and she was extremely helpful to us in making our decisions. We had to have art that was reflective of Southern California, of Los Angeles. We wanted local artists. We wanted the art to reflect the diversity of our staff, of our clientele. Sarah really understood what the art should accomplish.
When Holocaust survivors come into a room and there's bright colors of gorgeous art, it makes them happy. The art and the color transfers to them a feeling of well-being. And so a lot of people come into the building because they're seeking help, and the art makes the walls, makes the space more friendly. It makes it more accessible. It makes it more human. I started my career in a Jewish space so many years ago, and we've been avid and devoted members of the Jewish Skirball Museum. And here, I'm getting this award at the Skirball Museum. It's like a tremendous and beautiful circle.
I feel it's a privilege that I have this opportunity to be surrounded by people like Sarah to actualize our goals and aspirations for this community.
On behalf of the JFS Hope staff and all the volunteers, we want to thank you.
It's just a delight to see you like this and to be your friend and your colleague.
You've just been a joy to work with and a joy to know.
Kol hakavod, as we say in Hebrew, for choosing to honor Sarah.
Just thinking of you puts a smile on my face. And I love you, obviously. Love you.
I am really happy that you are getting recognized for who you are and what you do.
Congratulations to Sarah.
Great, big, gigantic mazal tov to you.
We love you very much.
And I'm proud of you.
I know I'm just one person, but I'm one person added to a lot of people who work for the Jewish Family Service. This is the place that addresses so many needs. If I was a human being here, a Jewish human being, any kind of human being that wanted to do anything to help, this would be the place to accomplish that.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sarah Cannon.
All I can say about that video is, oi. I want to thank Michael for doing all this, putting this together, doing the video. Wow. And I want to thank Jennifer. Where's Jennifer? For the very beautiful and very kind words. Thank you. Your parents are such an inspiration. They saw problems and potential and immediately tried to find ways to make things happen and to help. Their commitment to social action made a difference in so many people's lives in the true spirit of Tikkun Olam. To quote Anne Frank, how wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world. And your parents were part of that. Jewish Family Service, LA, is a place where the world is immeasurably improved. I found that this organization gives so much and so well that I wanted to join it and do all I could to be a part of its life-enhancing work. I feel truly humble and privileged that my contribution has been recognized in this wonderful manner. Thank you, everybody. As it is said, thank you. As it is said, it takes a village. All the people I've met and worked with at JFS have embodied the virtue of Ahavat Chesed, the caring and compassion to make life better for people, and I profoundly thank them all. 3 women stand out in my mind in particular. Kitty Glass, for the excellent and compassionate training she provided to volunteer at JFS Hope. Susie Forderry, with infinite grace, for being integral and important to every program I've worked in. And Carol Bar-Or, whose endearing generosity and warm-hearted self was the reason I started to volunteer so many years ago. A special hug-filled thank you to you all. I also want to give a hug-filled thank you to my family who've accompanied me throughout my volunteering journey. My husband, Bob, our 2 daughters, Laura and Audrey, my sister, Joby, and the friends who are here with me this evening. They all know how important being of service to our community is to me. My parents, our present parents, would be so proud. I'd also like to give a hearty congratulations to Nina Tassler for being awarded the Susie Forderry Spirit of Humanity Award. How wonderful. So again, thank you so much for this honor. It'll carry me through for at least the next 10 years or more of happily volunteering for the Jewish Family Service, LA. Thank you. Thank you.
Please welcome JFS President and CEO, Eli Weitzer.
Good evening. It is so wonderful to be here with all of you in this beautiful venue. Congratulations and thank you to our extraordinary honorees, Nina and Sarah. I also want to give a shout out to my friend and colleague, Susie Forderry. Tonight caps so many years of wonderful galas which you and your team have put together. Thank you. As we sit here tonight, enjoying this beautiful gala, JFS is hard at work. Our overnight staff are working at our 3 domestic violence shelters. And tomorrow morning, bright and early, we've got a crew of cooks who will be at the Hirsch Family Kosher Kitchen at 7 a.m. to begin preparing hundreds of meals. They will be followed by by drivers, social workers, accountants, psychiatrists. Nearly 300 JFS staff and many dozens of volunteers will be at work tomorrow ready to serve. When people call, JFS LA responds. Old, young, Jewish, non-Jewish, individuals and families struggling with crises and difficulties who have turned to JFS LA for help. But more than the concrete services JFS LA provides, it's the way we provide these services that makes the most difference. It's our goal that when a person reaches out to JFS, they feel cared for, cared about, and cared for. Cared for as part of a community. That connection, that sense of being a person who is welcomed into community and supported as part of that community is what brings healing and strengthening. It's what connects all of us here tonight to each other and to the thousands of individuals and families whose lives are touched by JFS LA every year.
I feel like it's important to support the older community because I feel like they're a group of people who are forgotten. Many of them live on their own and are trying to find their way around this world, and they need somebody to be there for them. From the first time that I met Oscar, I knew that it was going to become a great friendship. I had never met someone who was 99, turning 100 years old. The Connect program is easy. You gain a friend, you are helping out in the community. It takes very little time, but you're changing somebody's life. The first person I went with, every other week we'd go to the grocery store together because he had no way to get groceries on his own. The second person was more about phone calls and just communicating and having a friend for him to talk to. I met Oscar. He lived right near me again in West Hollywood, which was super convenient. First time we hung out one-on-one, we went out to lunch at Cantor's Deli. And I'm sitting there with this guy who's 99 years old. I'm driving him to Deli. He is getting out of the car on his own, and his cell phone starts ringing. And I'm like, okay. So he picks up his cell phone and he's like, oh yeah, I'm just sitting here with a friend right now. I'll call you back in an hour when I'm back home and we can hang out and do whatever we want. I'm like, here's this guy making plans at 100. He used to be in the jewelry business, which is something that I do for work. He played tennis. He grew up in New York. He and my father have mutual friends. It was just the most perfect friendship, really, between me and a man who was 99 turning 100 years old. So it really became more than the requested 2 hours every other week. It became 2 hours a week or 3 hours a week just because we wanted to hang out. I'd call him on a Tuesday, I'd bring pizza to his house, we'd watch tennis. One of the fun things that Oscar and I did together was actually right before our wedding. My wife and I got married last April. Me, my dad, and Oscar and we all went to go get manicures together. And I actually asked him if he would do a prayer at our wedding, the hamotzi, which is the Jewish prayer over the bread. And he said, of course. He was the biggest cheerleader for me at our wedding. It was one of the most memorable experiences to have him in the audience and get those photos with him. Oscar passed away about 7 or 8 months ago. It's something that you know getting into this program is gonna happen. Oscar and I used to talk maybe once a week, and Oscar started calling me 2, 3, 4 times a week, maybe twice a day. And I think it was because he was so afraid. Quick decline happened when I went over to his house one day and he just wasn't himself. And so we called an ambulance and he went to the hospital. And while he was in the hospital, we had a great time together. Dodgers were playing, which was Oscar's favorite thing in the world. So we'd watch every baseball game we could find. Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. I'd bring Cracker Jacks and Hazarai so we could sit there and feel like we were at a baseball game together. Root for not the Red Sox. So the hard part about when the person you're volunteering with passes away is you always want to be a part of this program. So once your friend passes away, there's no defining line of when you should get back in. It's whatever feels right for you. And you don't forget about the person you worked with. You don't try to make your new relationship like the old one that you had. But you just see how important you were in this person's final days of their lives, and you hope to bring that fire to whoever you're now volunteering with again.
There's an ancient Jewish teaching. Whoever saves a single life is considered to have saved the entire world. If I may, I'd like to add that to that statement. Whoever touches a single life has touched an entire world. Each individual that we are able to serve at JFSLA is a unique world, uniquely touched. I know that every single one of you here is a supporter of JFSLA. I want to ask you to help us to do more, to help more, to touch more lives and give that gift of caring, of healing, of community to more of our fellow Angelenos. Ladies and gentlemen, our auctioneer, Grant Snyder.
Thank you. Thank you, Eli. Good evening, everybody. Are you happy to be here tonight? No, we can be a little better than that. We're not in Orange County at a golf tournament. Are you happy to be here tonight? It's been 4 years since we were at the Beverly Hilton, and it is my privilege and honor to be back here tonight to help raise money for this incredible organization you've heard so much about. And so tonight, I'm in between you and the main course. I'd like to ask one thing from each and every one of you. The first thing is I'd like everyone to find their paddle right now. And on a count of 3, to raise the paddle in the air for the incredible work that this organization does. Every hand up. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Thank you. Thank you all for your $100,000. Good night, everybody. The second thing I would like to ask everyone at every table, since we haven't been here in 4 years, is let's crush our record of fundraising tonight. And in order to do that, we'll need everyone at every table to raise their paddle. And so I'm going to start at a very high amount, and I'm going to work our way down. And as we work our way down, I'm going to share with you some of the numbers that this organization impacts our community, and I can only tell you that these numbers have gone up the last 4 years since the pandemic. So I said I was going to start high. I am. Who tonight would like to raise their paddle to get us going, to break the record on the appeal? Who wants to raise their paddle tonight for $36,000? Is there any paddle tonight, or roughly the cost of your valet parking? Is there anyone tonight, thank you for the laughs over here, by the way. Is there anyone tonight that would like to raise their paddle tonight at $36,000? I saw that gentleman just push his wife's paddle down. She's fine, she can bid. Is there any paddle tonight at $36,000? Yes, there is. Bidder number 248 at $36,000. Thank you so much. We're at $36,000. Who else at 36? Is there one more at $36,000? Anybody else? We've got $36,000. Looking for one more at $36,000. If not, by the way, there is. You know what? You were like a little late in raising your paddle, so this is like an NFL football game where I have to go to the instant replay. Ma'am, after the instant replay, we accept your $36,000. Bidder number 340, we're at $72,000. Can I hear it? All right. You know, just saying, I'm not good in math, 8 years of college. But if we got one more at 36, that would be 72 plus 36 to be $108,000. I'm just going to throw it out there. Is there anyone else tonight at $36,000 to get us over the $100,000 mark? Anybody? Last call at $36,000. Ferris Bueller. Anybody else? Last call. If not, how about a big hand for those two that just gave us $72,000? Okay. Our next amount, and by the way, we've got like these paddles here that have got the script. Unfortunately, I'm too tall for the script, so I've got to go down here and look at the next amount. But as we go, I want to tell you some of just the raw numbers, okay? Every week, nearly 2,000 people come to JFS pantries and pop-up pantries. These are people in our community. They are our brothers and our sisters who are hungry and or experiencing food insecurity. 2,000 people every day. That is absolutely incredible. So, my next amount that will help those 2,000 people with their hunger and their food insecurity is $25,000. Anybody tonight like to raise their paddle at $25,000? Bidder number 63 at $25,000. This is not a golf tournament. We can clap a lot harder for that. Thank you so much at $25,000. We're at 72 and 25. I hope there's an accountant in the room that will help me keep track. Anybody else at $25,000? We've got one at $25,000. Is there anybody else tonight at $25,000? If not, looking for one more $25,000. If not, how about a big hand for our $25,000 donor? I'm going to give you another number here that I'm going to ask the audience. How many meals do you think that the JFS Senior Nutrition Program provided to over 1,200 seniors and people with disabilities last year? How many meals? 263,000 meals. That is how impactful this organization is, and your $18,000 donation tonight could help those senior meals. Who would like to raise their paddle tonight at $18,000? Now you got to turn it around so I can see the number. Thank you, bidder number 48 at $18,000. Shauna, bidder number 257 at $18,000. That's another $36,000. Anybody else at $18,000? Looking for one more at $18,000. Going once, $18,000 going twice. How about a big hand for another $36,000? How about JFS's mental health programs? How many people do you think got counseling last year throughout Los Angeles? I will paint a picture for you right now. There's approximately 450 of you here tonight. You can add another 150 people. 600 people got counseling last year through JFS LA. Yes, clap. That is absolutely amazing. And your $10,000 paddle pledge tonight could help to make even more get those counseling. Who'd like to raise their paddle tonight? Is there 3 hands tonight at $10,000? Yes, you can bid like all of your friends' paddles, by the way. Bidder number 20. Bidder number 21 at $10,000. Is there one more paddle? Come on, let's hear it. That's another $20,000. Bidder number 278 at $10,000. That's 2.5 at $10,000. We're looking for one more to get to 3. Anybody at 3? We've got 3 at $10,000. Thank you very much. Hold on. I asked for one more. I'm going to take bidder number 22 at $10,000. I'm going to take bidder number 205 at $10,000. That's another $50,000. Anybody else at $10,000? Yes, hold on. Bidder number 154, you are so far in the back. Next year, I assure you, you will be up front so I can keep an eye on you. Bidder number 154 at $10,000. Is there anybody else That's 5 or 6 at $10,000. Anybody else at $10,000? I know you're getting hungry. I'm just getting started. Anybody else at $10,000? If not, going once, going twice. How about a big hand for all those that just gave $10,000? And here's an interesting one. The JFS Arts, Wellness, and Engagement Program held over how many fitness, art, and social programs that were attended by over 32,000 times by 500 seniors. That's a lot of numbers. The answer is 4,300 fitness, art, and social programs last year. Your donation of $5,000 could go to those programs. There are 5 or 6 paddles right now at $5,000. Let's go. Who'd like to raise their paddle at $5,000? Bidder number 1, bidder number 77. Let's give him a hand. Bidder number 81. Bidder number 86. Bidder number 208. Bidder number 54 at $5,000. Anybody else? Hold on. Bidder number 276. Thank you, sir, in the back at $5,000. That's 6 at $5,000. That's $30,000. I like to end with an odd number. Is there one more at $5,000? One more. Split it. Anybody else at $5,000? We've got 30. We need 35. Anybody else? 30 now. There it is. Number 85 at $35,000. He bid 5. How about a big hand for those 7 people who gave $5,000? Now, I'm going to ask the audience. JFS New Parents Connect provided free support groups to how many families last year? Is it 1? Is it 10? Or is it 82? You're exactly right. 82 families got that program, and your donation tonight of $2,500 could mean more than 82 families next year. Who'd like to raise their paddle tonight at $2,500? I want to see if we can get 10 hands up in the air at $2,500. Thank you, bidder number 367. Thank you, bidder number 156, number 114, number 182, number 309, number 321. 3 more hands up at $2,500, meaning another $25,000. Anybody else at $2,500? Last call. Are you guys hungry? We're getting there. Oh, yes. Bidder number 341. Thank you. Now we need 2 more hands up at $2,500, and I'll have them start inching the meal towards us. All right? Is there 2 hands up at $2,500? We've got 8 at $2,500. Is there 2 more hands up at $2,500? If not, I'll just stay here for a couple more hours. It's all good. Thank you, bidder number 9 at $2,500. Now, you know what you've done, bidder number 9? Yes. You know exactly what you have done. You have stopped the food from coming closer, because we need 1 more hand up at $2,500. We cannot stop at 9. Is there 1 more hand up at $2,500 to get us to $25,000? Yes, there is. Ladies and gentlemen, bidder number 190 just helped us raise another $25,000. Let's hear it for those who gave $2,500. Thank you. And now is the time where I really get my exercise. All right? I'm going to go the next 3 levels, 1,000, 500, and 250, and I'm just going to work the room, and we're going to go fast. So who'd like to raise their paddle tonight? Let's go. Are there 10 hands up tonight that would like to raise their paddle for $1,000? Let's go. Who'd like to raise their paddles? Let's see if we can get 15 hands up. Bidder number 189. Could you turn that around, please? Thank you, bidder number 13. Thank you, bidder number 254. Applause in the background, please. Bidder number 178. Look at this table. Bidder number 62. Thank you for 1,000. Bidder number 302. Thank you, bidder number 305. Bidder number 93. 3. Bidder number 1, 1, 1. Bidder number 3, 5, 9. Bidder number 1, 8, 6. Bidder number 1, 1, 0. In the back, bidder number 8, 7. Bidder number 3, 3, 9. Or as they say in Philly, bidder number 3, 9. Bidder number 5, 7. Thank you for the laugh. Bidder number 1, 7, 9. Thank you, that table in the back. Bidder number 1, 30. Bidder number 1, 3, 1. Holy cow, look at the paddles on this side of the room. I'll go back in a moment. Bidder number 1, 4, 3. Thank you, bidder number 2, 10. You set up the program beautifully tonight. Thank you. Bidder number 301. Bidder number 126. It's funny that this side doesn't clap for this side. I don't know what's going on. Let's hear it for this side over here. Come on. Bidder number 52. Bidder number 318. Thank you, sir. Bidder number 155. Bidder number 185. Thank you. Bidder number 347. Bidder number 357. Bidder number 127 at $1,000. Bidder number 170. Bidder number 26, I'm just going to go back because I forgot some. Bidder number auctioneer error. Bidder number 46, thank you. Thank you, bidder number 71. Thank you, bidder number 89. Thank you, bidder number 100. Thank you, bidder number 145. Yes. How about one more on that side of the room? Make me walk all the way from here to there at $1,000. That's obviously our sweet spot. Is there one more hand up at $1,000? There it is, bidder number 346. Ladies and gentlemen, we found our sweet spot. Give it up for all those who gave $1,000. I think I called 50 names out. All right, I said a couple more amounts. Let's go to $500. Ready? I'm going to start over here. At $500, we'll go there. Let's see if we can get 15 paddles up at $500. Thank you, bidder number 272. Now bidder number 149. Bidder number 122. Remember room 222. Bidder number 73. Bidder number 253. Thank you, bidder number 150. Thank you, bidder number 325. In the back again, bidder number 286. Thank you, bidder number 108 at $500. Thank you, bidder number 109. Thank you, bidder number 166. Bidder number 363. Bidder number 53. Thank you, bidder number 81. Way in the corner, hiding behind the trees and the plants and the wait staff. Bidder number 199. Bidder number 327. How about a big hand for up? Bidder number 345. How about a big hand for all those who gave $500? Let's hear it. 2 more minutes, we'll be done. You know, we weren't going to do $250, but I want to tonight because I want to break a record. Because if 10 of you raise your paddle at $250, that's another $2,500. We'll do it quick. Who'd like to raise their paddles tonight at the unannounced amount of $250? And you can give again. There's no rule against giving twice. Bidder number 82, thank you, at $250. Bidder number 293, this is unannounced, let's hear it. Bidder number 152. Bidder number 331, Michael, we hit the jackpot. Bidder number 349. Bidder number 348. Bidder number 10, thank you. Bidder number 360. Bidder number 51. 279, 69, bidder number 15, bidder number 99 way in the back, bidder number 42, bidder number 102. Jasmine, are you happy? We just raised probably another $5,000. Let's hear it. And bidder number 82, correct? Is that 82? And last but not least, I've got to read, I do want to read the script here, sorry, as it is getting darker up here. This is the saddest part of the evening for me. Shh. The saddest part of the evening for an auctioneer is when I'm going to ask all of you to surrender your paddles. Yes, it's very sad, because I will not follow you to your car for the coins in your glove box. But I will ask one thing from every one of you. You see, in the next 2 minutes, volunteers are going to walk around the room, and if you surrender your paddle and cease to be an eligible bidder, crushing me, we will charge you $100. However, if you throw your numbers in the paddle, in the bin, you are going to be eligible to win a 2-night stay at any Clinton hotel. They're located around the country and around the world. You know, there's a beautiful one in Palm Springs or Palm Desert. So it's called Surrender Your Paddle. And I don't know if we have any music, but in the next 2 minutes, Jasmine, are our volunteers ready to surrender the paddles? Where are our volunteers? Come on up front. On the count of 3, every paddle that goes in, we charge you $100, but we will bring Shauna up here in 2 minutes and do a surprise paddle pull. On the count of 3, you can give again. Everyone, throw your paddle in for JFS LA. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Raise those paddles. Collect them all. If you want to surrender your paddles, keep them up in the air. Where's the music? I will not sing. It's not in my contract. I don't want to distract the audience. Take a look over here. Come on over here. Everyone surrender your paddle. One of you is going to a Climpton. I thought it was a Kimpton, but it's a Climpton, I guess. Is it? Is it a Climpton or a Kimpton? It is Kimpton. They added an L to it, okay? Right over here, look at this table. Come on over here. Keep your paddles up in the air. Right over here. Thank you. Keep your paddles in the air. Turn that music up a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. Make it happy music, please. Yes, it sounds like Beethoven. Raise your paddles right over here. Jasmine, help me out. We've got 30 more seconds left at $100. 30 more seconds. You having fun, Jasmine? I am too. All right, a couple more paddles, and we're going to throw them all into this bin right here, and Shauna's going to come up here wherever you are. 20 more seconds to surrender your paddle. Ready? 20. She doesn't want to help. Do you want to help? 10.
9.
8.
7.
6.
5.
4.
3.
2. 1.
Blast off.
Blast off. All the paddles up front. Thank you very much to the table number 4. Let's throw them all. Oh my gosh, look at all these numbers. This is incredible. I think it is Kimpton, isn't it? Is it Kimpton or Climpton? Okay, exactly. Here we go, and then we're going to mix them up, and you're going to pick one. I'm going to hand the mic to you. Before I hand the mic to you, I want to say this. Thank you all for raising a ton of money for this incredible organization. Back to you.
Wow, there's a lot of paddles. Just put my hand in there and do it?
Oh, you know what I forgot to say?
What
doesn't matter. I did forget to say, if we didn't have your name, put your name on the paddles, but I think we know everyone, right? If you don't know your paddle number, we're just going to guess a winner. Now, we can find out who the winner is from their paddle number. Can we do that if we call it out? Okay, let's do it. Drum roll, everyone, drum roll. The winning bidder
is 149.
Who had bidding number 149? We'll find out. Jasmine, do we know who bidder number 149 is?
Diana Frank. Diana Frank.
No, Diana, that was just a test. You actually didn't win. That's all right, but we have a consolation prize for you, Diana. Who is it?
Pamela Frank.
Pamela Frank, come on up here. You are our winner of the $100 paddle pull. Let's hear it for Pamela. Diana's not happy, but Pamela, you got to be happy, aren't you? Congratulations. Do you want to get a picture, you two? Yeah, come on up on stage. This is your moment of glory right now tonight.
Well, that was incredible. I am truly inspired by the generosity we just witnessed. It's that kind of action that makes us who we are, and the kind of action exemplified by our honorees tonight. Thank you so much for being part of our family. And now dinner is served. Thank you again.
A few years ago, Nina Tassler wrote an important book titled What I Told My Daughter, in which she interviewed female leaders on what lessons they would impart for future generations of empowered women. One of those women was the great labor leader, Dolores Huerta. A quote from Miss Huerta defines for me who Nina is as a person, but also represents Nina's guiding life principles. So, quote, "Every moment in life is an organizing opportunity. Every person is a potential activist, and every minute is a chance to change the world." Nina lives her life seizing every minute to create change, to better the lives of those in our community, and embraces the spirit of Tikkun Olam, a core value at the heart of JFS. Nina and I have been friends and work colleagues for over 30 years. From the moment she arrived at Lorimar Television, she was an impressive development executive who won us over with her quick wit, depth of knowledge, unbridled enthusiasm, and optimism. I not only knew we would grow into lifelong friends, but that she would definitely change the TV industry, if not the world. She was a Puerto Rican Jew whose parents encouraged her at a young age to find her moral compass and use it for good. In her book, Nina recalls gathering strength from her mom. Quote, "I learned at the many protests we attended that it's okay to stand alone, to be afraid, to uphold unpopular beliefs, to hear the sound of your own voice and let courage grow from within." The Nina I met back then was, and still is, fierce and compassionate, very dramatic. Remember, she's an actress at heart. She's ridiculously passionate and committed. Her kindness and curiosity are only matched by her creativity and tenacity. Her strong sense of justice guided her in her work and her life and enabled her to find the humanity in all of the shows she developed. She's super smart, and her training as an agent gave her the tools to BS her way into getting whatever project she wanted. And wow, those projects. Her resume reads like a list from TV's Hall of Fame. Nina was the executive creative force behind such legendary shows as ER, CSI, Survivor, The Big Bang Theory, The Good Wife, NCIS. The list goes on and on. But more importantly, while she was launching careers and entertaining millions of people around the globe, she's never stopped fighting for social justice, for feminism, for fairness, and for change, all while rising to the highest and busiest levels of the industry. Our dear friend and JFS hero, Debbie Barrick, encouraged Nina to lend her brilliance and passion to JFS. And typical of Nina, she embraced it all and quickly rose to the level of chair. During her tenure, she led the agency through the pandemic, clearly its most challenging and crucial period in its nearly 170-year history. Being a voice for the voiceless, an activist who puts plans and theories into action, Nina inspired and challenged us all to do more. There's nothing Nina can't do. This woman gets stuff done. I'll conclude with another quote from Nina's pal, Dolores Huerta. "We do need women in civic life. We need a feminist to be at the table when decisions are being made so that the right decisions will be made." So it is my honor to introduce the person who has made a lifetime of right decisions, a true humanitarian, and this year's recipient of the Susie Forraderi Spirit of Humanity Award. My good friend, my sister, my idol, Nina Tassler.
Hi, everybody. I'm Gina Davis, and I'm here with someone incredibly special to me and to all of you, I'm sure, Nina Tassler, who I've known almost 50 years, unbelievably. And we are here to celebrate Nina getting the Susie Forraderi Spirit of Humanity Award. So let's talk to Nina. Maybe tell us a little bit about how you got involved with JFS.
I was drawn to the organization because it is a large social safety net organization that helps people who are going through all sorts of challenges in life. Everybody who works there, they lead with their heart and they lead with their commitment to helping make people's lives better.
And that's you, too. You know, you've always led with your heart.
Well,
and that's just inherent in who you are.
Well, thank you, my love. And I just think it speaks to people who are drawn to the organization are people who truly care about humanity and care about improving the quality of people's lives.
Yeah, and I've been a fan ever since you became involved with JFS. I've become such a fan of
Well, it's interesting because when I started getting involved in the organization, you did as well. And there was an event that we had on the lot at CBS. Right. It was called A Night of Hope, and it was to raise awareness for the domestic violence program that they have at JFS. And you so generously co-hosted that event, which really brought out a huge support at CBS. And then you did another event later on where we did a fundraiser for JFS with Peggy Ornstein, who had just published a new book, and you were there speaking out. So you've been involved in JFS for as long as I have.
It's wonderful for you to point out how important JFS is and all the incredible things they do. And she also managed to turn this around to be about me, as it turns out. Well, we're going to have a series of videos, Nina, which I don't believe you've seen.
No.
But we're going to take a look at the first one.
Oh, God, Nina is amazing. I think the best way to think about Nina is she's a person who sees everyone in the room.
She's one of my favorite people.
An incredible human being and someone that you want to hang out with all the time.
Probably one of the biggest hearts and one of the fastest minds and one of the strongest wills of anybody I've ever met.
I have always been seduced by her eyewear. It has been bold and audacious, just like her.
Nina's like a whirling dervish of activity and thoughts and emotion.
But with gravitas and focus and dignity.
She might appear to be petite.
5 foot nothing, if that, which makes me feel like a giant of a man until you start to get the force of that personality.
Throughout her life, Nina has never stood down and has always sought to empower those around her.
Nina is as real can get.
She's been a real role model in the social justice world.
When someone throws a gauntlet down before her, she gets this little grin on her face. And then you know, uh-oh, Nina just thought, I can do this.
She is one of the strongest, most powerful, passionate women I know. And once you are in her world, you never leave it.
Wow, exactly.
Oh my
exactly
God.
Right.
Oh my God.
How did you feel seeing that?
A little overwhelmed. It is overwhelming.
Oh,
and it's a real blessing, and I'm very fortunate. I really am. I feel blessed. I feel fortunate, and overcome with gratitude.
So we know each other because we met as freshmen at DU when we were studying acting.
That's right.
And I don't know how long it took us to become inseparable. It might have been really very fast.
Yes. Very fast.
And we ended up being roommates
That's
at one
right.
point, and we've been together ever since. But there's somebody else from BU that you maybe have been with ever since as well, Jerry Levine. is going to join us, who is your husband.
Hello, darling.
Hi, honey. Hi, honey.
Hello, darling.
Hello, darling. I'm good.
Hey.
So what are we doing here tonight? Is it game night? What are we doing?
Yes,
Everybody.
I want to thank you both for shooting this in your home.
Thank you.
We're here in Nina and Jerry's home. So, Jerry, we met at BU also, and you guys, how soon did you start to become friends?
Well, I think I met you
First.
You, I did an audition with, so I met you
Right.
the first movement class. You wore a green leotard.
That's right, I did.
And
we used to get in trouble all the time in our history of the theater class because it was 9 o'clock in the morning. You know, who wants a 9 o'clock class?
I made it one of my missions to get you to laugh in class, which I seem to be pretty good at.
You did.
We got
It
in
was
trouble.
hysterical.
Oh my God, that's
It was
hilarious.
hysterical.
Jerry, you're involved with JFS2 in a big way, and talk about your involvement and one of your particular clients.
Yeah. I got involved with JFS through Nina. She introduced me to the Connect program, who introduced me to a woman named Maxine Heller, who was about 90-something at the time. And her granddaughter, Rachel Mason, is with us here tonight. So it has extended. We lost Maxine about 2 years ago because you can't live to 1,000 years old. And it was an incredible experience for me. And it was more for me, I got more out of it, I think, than Maxine, but we argued about that, who got more. You know, the idea of the program is to help your buddy do things that they necessarily can't do for themselves. Maxine pretty quickly got the idea that she could do things for herself, and she would rather go out to lunch or to the movies or double date with me and Nina at El Coyote restaurant and
She loved her
drink
margaritas.
margaritas
Loved
in the
her
afternoon and
margaritas.
drop them off. And she would have her friend Owen, who we've lost also. He was with us as well.
It was
and she'll be
great.
with me forever.
Yeah,
Aw.
very special.
Yeah,
very
yeah,
special.
yeah.
Well, you guys mean everything to me for so long. You're my life. And you are also responsible for the lives of some other people. And we have another video that we'd like to show you, so stay for that, Jerry.
Thank you.
Unconditional love is something that I've always felt from my parents. I've never felt that there was anywhere or anything that I could do wrong that they wouldn't always try and teach me something about it or still always let me know that they loved me at the end of the day.
I always felt seen and respected as an individual more so than just a son.
They're very loving. They've also welcomed my family with open arms.
I don't think there is anything more important to Nina than her family. She's also a really good dog mom.
Yes, thank you. Tell me what you think of my mom, Nina.
She's always there for anybody and she's a great listener.
Both my grandparents were very tolerant, progressive people.
The way that Nina grew up with her activist parents and her family values, that it totally made sense for her to be part of Jewish Family Service.
She always taught me how women were discriminated against and to look out for it. And through what she did with her career and with her social justice, I just saw that so clearly.
Someone who affects change or wants to affect change starts with being able to listen and be tolerant and humble to other people.
I'm really proud of all the things that she's done and her relationship with JFS and how far she's gone with you guys. Congratulations, Mom. We love you. We're super proud of you. And we think that you're great.
Oh, God. Oh, that's so sweet. You're the best kids. Oh, my God. I love them.
It's been really great to watch our children grow up together.
Yes.
And Gina's children
That's
are
right.
beautiful, beautiful kids. And
That's incredible.
So I think that finishes me for the night. Congratulations, Nina. Nicely
Thank
done.
you.
All right. Thank you,
Gina.
Jerry.
See you
Thanks, sweetheart.
afterwards.
All right. I'll see you later.
Bye, everybody.
So that was wonderful, learning a little bit more about your family and how they feel about you. How about we talk about your career in the industry for a bit?
Okay. Studied acting, and then, moved to California and pursued a different path. So I was an agent for about 4 or 5 years, and had extraordinary mentors and amazing people. And then pursued the executive track, and then stayed as a development executive and worked my way up through all the different phases that one goes through, and then ultimately was fortunate enough to be at CBS and chairperson at CBS.
What's something that you really enjoyed the most or that meant the most?
I think being able to establish meaningful relationships with people, that's been a part of my upbringing. I was raised in a community that I was the only Jewish kid and I was the only Puerto Rican kid in the entire school.
Oh boy.
So that helps kind of forge your identity, and also helped me understand that I was just one person, but dedicating your life to doing good things really mattered.
Speaking of which, we have a final video for you to see. Okay.
Her secret to her success at CBS or in the television industry is the same secret that makes her the great leader she is at JFS. Not only do the best you can and make the best TV shows you can, but to make a difference.
This is a good and kind and decent, integral person in a position of power. And I love that.
Some of the best TV shows in the history of the business. Audiences got to enjoy it because Nina wouldn't give up. Nina wouldn't take no for an answer.
She's truly a creative visionary and has made a huge imprint on network television.
She was a huge reason Big Bang Theory got to live.
The one thing I will say is that the first time I sat down with Nina, I felt like a great energy, and intuitively, I felt like, you know what, this is someone that I want to work with.
She just was so excited and open and whispered in my ear, I knew they wouldn't kill you off. Of course you were going to stay on the show. And from that moment on, she had me in her back pocket at all times.
When she puts herself out to organizations that are serving communities, you quickly realize what you've got. She's putting herself and her sweat equity into it all the time.
I met Nina at CBS Television City. I think I was going to dinner with Debbie Barrick. She was telling us a story that just made us crack up and laugh so much. And I just thought how lucky Debbie is to get to work with this woman all the time.
A marriage that I think was forged initially by Debbie Barrick, who recruited us, but also, recruited a lot of people, and probably the star of all the people she recruited was Nina.
She just takes the mission of JFS so seriously. Much of her tenure as board chair was during COVID.
Usually the tenure for the chairperson is 2 years, and because of COVID and Nina's ability to pull people in, we asked her to stay on for a 3rd year.
We were dealing through COVID with real basic needs, food insecurity, housing insecurities, and mental health issues. And JFS was there under Nina's leadership and not only survived, but thrived, serving hundreds and thousands of people. And nothing was going to stop Nina. Nothing was going to stop JFS.
So Neens, I just want to congratulate you on receiving the Spirit of Humanity Award. I know that this has been a special year for all of us, and I have so gratefully appreciated all of your support, your love, your friendship, and it has just made my life so much fuller. And I hope that you always go from strength to strength, and that your world and our world is a better place because of the work that we've done together.
Bobby, so beautiful.
So beautiful.
Oh, no, you deserve it. You so deserve it.
Oh, honey. Thank you.
Beautiful
Thank
tribute,
you.
all of this.
Well, the time that I got to serve as board chair was challenging. But I think what was so amazing is how everybody on the board and in the entire organization, the staff, the administrators, everybody rallied together in a way that was was superhuman. And one of the people, that we heard from, Susie Foyer-Derry, who, is literally embodies the essence of JFS. And Susie mentioned someone so dear to us, and the person who brought us into JFS, and that is Debbie Barrick of blessed memory. And she was my colleague at CBS for almost 25 years, and was an extraordinary person. When we'd go to board meetings, she'd say, "Isn't it incredible that you can walk in here into a board meeting, and literally the work that the board would do was so profound."
Right.
And that when you would walk out, you would feel this sort of lightness in your heart because you knew that you were there to do good.
Right.
But I think getting the award has the most meaning because it is named for Susie. And I feel so blessed. And so grateful. I look at everybody at JFS and know that the work that they do is changing people's lives. So I'm grateful, I'm humbled, and kind of speechless.
I love you so much, honey. Oh. Love you. I think that was good.
Yes. Everybody's verklempt. Thank you, David, and everybody. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. It's an extraordinary evening. It's a tremendous amount of love in this room, and I'm honored and so proud to be here. Roughly 15 years ago, my very dear friend, Debbie Barrick of blessed memory, invited me and several of us here tonight to attend a Jewish family service event called A Night of Hope to benefit JFS's domestic violence services. We were going to a dinner where Abby Liebman was going to share her personal story, her sister's experience with domestic violence. Debbie had heard Abby speak before. Debbie knew how JFS and their nurturing staff of clinicians provided the highest level of life-saving services and trauma-informed care to help clients heal and move forward. My dear friend Debbie brought me into the amazing world of Jewish family service, sharing her very best friend, JFS's EVP, Susie Foyer-Derry, with us. The deep love and friendship Debbie and Susie shared was reflected in their work together at JFS. Rooted in Jewish values, honoring the dignity of every individual, extending the practice of service and loving kindness for all, and to do their part to heal the world. This was foundational to Debbie and Susie's commitment to each other and to JFS. They knew once we, David, Tammy, Paul, Renee, Georgette, and others, learned and experienced the depth and breadth of services provided by JFS, addressing food insecurity, domestic violence, our rapidly growing population of older adults, mental health crises, caring for Holocaust survivors, supporting those with special needs and diverse abilities, and so much more, we would never turn away. Jewish Family Service is the oldest social service organization in LA, founded in 1854. They are a trusted source of support, welcoming all individuals and families of all ages and identities. And as we gather tonight to celebrate 30th anniversary of the JFS Gala, I must acknowledge the Herculean actions of the extraordinary staff and leadership. Eli, Susie, Carol, Aaron, Sylvia, Dawn, Karen, Susan, Nancy, Michael, Carol, Joyce, and so many others, you navigated the unprecedented challenges of a pandemic. Your words and actions reflected a call to serve unlike any before. You are truly the first responders of social services. whether it was to pivot, adapt, address, respond, assist, repair, or resolve. You met the needs of the most vulnerable in our community where they were, with compassion and dignity. I feel so honored to be a member of the JFS Board of Directors. This is truly a board, and I mean this is truly a board unlike any other. Each one of you comes to the table in the spirit of working together to help others. Thank you for everything you do. I now watch as a new generation of young leaders step up. We opened our flagship location, the Gunther Hirsch Family Center, a few years ago, and launched new programs in response to the growing needs of families in our communities. And thanks to the young leaders, we published Jewish Family Recipes, our first cookbook, to which I contributed, not myself, because I'm a terrible cook, but my mother's and my mother-in-law's recipes. I want to congratulate Sarah Cannon on receiving the Anita and Stanley Hirsch Award. Liz Hirsch Naftali, one of Anita and Stanley's daughters, has become a very dear friend of mine over these many years. And as I've come to know her siblings, Sarah, you embody everything the Hirsch family stands for. This is a very bittersweet night. Debbie, you were supposed to be here tonight. We are here, I am here, because of her. I will honor her memory with my continued support of Jewish Family Service. Sherry, Paul, Beverly, Jonathan, Hannah, Sarah, Adam, Hannah, and Paul. Thank you for sharing your sister, your mother, your daughter, your auntie with us. And Susie, may you always go from strength to strength. Lastly, to my loving parents. My parents, Bob and Norma of blessed memory, raised me, taught me to never stand idly by. As Elie Wiesel said, we must always take sides. Neutrality helps the oppressor, never the victim. Silence encourages the tormentor, never the tormented. Sometimes we must interfere. When human lives are endangered, when human dignity is in jeopardy, national borders and sensitivities become irrelevant. Wherever men or women are persecuted because of their race, religion, or political views, that place must, at that moment, become the center of the universe. To my dear husband of 40 years and my beautiful children, you are everything. On behalf of Jewish Family Service LA, thank you so much for coming out tonight. This has been such a moving and inspiring gala. We appreciate everything you all do to help us build a kinder, stronger Los Angeles. Please stop at the dessert table on your way out. Good night and get home safely. Thank you all.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us this evening at the 30th Annual Jewish Family Service Gala.